Hey fellow tennis nerds, I hope all is well. We have more gear switches and observations thanks to you guys on Instagram, Kostas, Matvey, Catching Details, for submitting some. I'm sure I forget a few. First of all, Rafa is back practicing with the old cosmetic, the 2021 Pure Aero Rafa, one of the best looking rackets in my opinion. Maybe that's why he's back to it. Probably not. Sometimes the paint changes how a racket plays, but most of the time I think it's in the player's head. He might be feeling a little bit superstitious, and you know Rafa, he is kind of superstitious. And he lost 2 matches at the United Cup with the new cosmetic that is not yet released, and he might feel like it's better to go back for the Australian Open to his old cosmetic. I'm sure Babolat are not thrilled by this because it's obviously a great marketing weapon to have Rafa playing with the new cosmetic. People will start talking about it. Guys like me will start making videos about it. But now he's back to the old cosmetic. We'll see how that affects his games, his mind. As you know, tennis is a very mental sport, so it's always fascinating to follow these types of changes. But keep your eyes on Rafa's rackets for the Australian Open. Brooksby with a Dunlop blade. There's nothing like a Dunlop blade out there, but if you look at Brooksby's new Dunlop racket, if you zoom in, it does not look like the Dunlop CX200 that you would think it is. That would be the equivalent to the Wilson blade that he was using before, but it still looks very much like a blade, just painted like a Dunlop CX200. Dunlop has done this before. I recently made a video about Alicia Parks, who is using a Dunlop racket as well, at least by the looks of it, but it actually has the V-Core Pro shape. Do Dunlop have some Pro stocks that we are not familiar with that are very similar to the Blade or the Onyx V-Core Pro, or is it just them painting other brands' rackets? I don't know about this, but it does look really weird. So is Brooksby playing with the Dunlop blade? Let me know in the comments below. Before we move on to other big changes, if you need racket help, check out tennisnerd.net/help, where I have a few resources like a course, a consultation service, and more. And if you want first impressions of racket reviews, you go to patreon.com/tennisnerd. You can support the channel and the website, and also get loads of unique content every week. I also want to thank our sponsor, Fabulalo Balls. They have this singles playbook that teaches you how to ingrain some patterns of play into your game. For example, how to beat pushers, counter punchers, serve and volleyers. It's an excellent tool. I bought it over a year ago before they asked to sponsor our videos, and I am happy to endorse this product. It's a good one. So check it out. The link is in the description. The biggest change on the sponsorship sky is that Tommy Paul has moved on to the V-Core 98, probably the new one. You can never be quite sure with all these cosmetic and paint jobs and so on. But it's a big change because he used the Blade 98 before, and that's a lot more control than the V-Core 98, which gives him extra power and spin. Seems to still be with his string setup of the Olu Power and Gut hybrid. The question is how this will affect his game. So far, so good. He beat Christopher O'Connell without losing serve, straight sets, so that's a good start. We'll see how if he can keep it up. It's also interesting to study his game and see if he's got an extra power, extra spin, something extra on the serve maybe. So keep your eyes on Tommy Paul and this pretty drastic change. And I'm also curious about this change because Tommy Paul had such a great year 2022. So it's even more risky, I would say, to change your equipment when you are kind of riding on a high. But some players are not affected so much by the gear, and some players are. The mullet game was almost over, you thought, when JJ Wolf decided to cut his hair into a slightly more standard hairstyle. Well, it's not over. We have a new mullet man. Aussie Dane Sweeney has taken over the mantle of the mullet game. He's rocking this 80s hairstyle. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments. This is not a gear change, it's just a hair change. You don't see a lot of mullets these days. But on the tennis tour, we've now had 2 in a short period of time, so maybe it's a trend. Will we see Rafa with the mullet? I don't think so. Apparel side, maybe not the most exciting side, but there are changes happening there as well. Ben Shelton has been signed by New Balance, it seems like. That's the very talented American who just went through the Challenger Tour like a forest fire. He is now with New Balance. Mackenzie McDonald is rocking a Penguin. He used to be Fila gear, now with Penguin. They also have Ayla Tomjanovic and perhaps some other guy on the men's tour that I forget about. And we have Emil Rusovori, the Finnish talent, going from Asics apparel to Head. He has been using Head rackets, he's using Head strings, and now he's also rocking Head apparel. Those are the changes I've noted. Thanks to you guys on Instagram again for sending some over. If you have any other observations, let me know in the comments or send them over on Instagram. Thanks for watching, and most importantly, don't forget to play some tennis.